Let this one go since we cut it off earlier and bring it back.
The world famous Mr. Magic Rap Attack presents
As we proceed to give you what you need.
All right, what's going on, everyone? Case Rich here with my guy Ty Mayer, ready for, I believe this is episode 5 of the Hot Snowball. We're on hump day here, Wednesday the 13th of December. Feels good. Feel like we're moving along pretty well with the pod.
We're getting into a good rhythm, I think, where this is like the third episode in a row that's like on time and on schedule. So gotta love that. Gotta love the consistency, and I think we got a pretty good show. I think we got some good topics to talk about.
Indeed. I feel like we were saying before, it's a little dead right now. However, there's some stuff that is popping off right now. For example, the balls, as always.
Yeah, as always.
Hot commodity in the sports world. We got LiAngelo going out to Lithuania with his younger brother LaMelo, which is mind-blowing to me. Why LaVar wants to do this, I'm really not sure, because you would think specifically LiAngelo would want to stay at a program like UCLA where he can further his basketball career. I know the goal is to get to the NBA. I don't see how this is the right path, but apparently LaVar knows.
I gotta say, I've never been so in on a move.
Wow.
I'm not that in. I'm not that in. But I do like the move for just a few reasons. Because first off, LiAngelo was not playing at UCLA at all. He wasn't going to play even before he got suspended. So this whole thing that like he left a better program, where would you, like I saw this one tweet, where would you rather play, Lithuania or Central California? Like, yeah, obviously there's a very obvious choice there. But he's also going to get paid. He's getting paid only $500 a month, which I think is hilarious. But you're still getting paid to play basketball. Those guys are professionals, and you're not playing with a bunch of kids who like basically just went through you see the kids UConn get.
Yeah.
Like these aren't those UConn guys. These are pros that are actually playing for money, and that's why like Brima's playing in the D League. Like I don't even think he could sign here. I really don't.
I don't know. I think Amita could. But besides the balls, we also got some interesting fantasy results from our league that I think some people will find wild.
Yes.
We have some bowl season stuff to discuss. Mayor, you got into a little Twitter feud with Jared Carabas of Barstool, which was entertaining to say the least.
I did. I got a lot of blowback for that one, actually, from other fans.
I would be a part of that blowback, I think, but we'll get into that a little bit.
We will get into that.
Then we got some rough and rowdy talk. That's, again, with Barstool Sports. Tex and Handsome Hank are going to be fighting December 15th, 2 days from now. It's going to be entertaining, to say the least. And then we'll probably wrap things up. Maybe with some woodsy talk, because this kid is just pure content. So the Hot Snowball has Travis Wood. We thank him a million for this. I mean, Woodsy, without you, kid, we wouldn't have such a great show, in my humble opinion.
We still need Wood to come, and we asked him to do this. We want him to record some freestyles for us to play before and after the pod, or like in like little breaks. Right. We got to talk to him about that.
Right. So Wood, hopefully he'll get on that for us, but that's in time to come. So
Absolutely.
That's what we got on tap. So back to the balls. I just don't I don't understand the move. You seem to like it because it's professional basketball. LiAngelo is going to be playing. I mean, UCLA is a pretty good program. I think that maybe in a year, or maybe if he got a shot, if there were some injuries, he'd get a chance to play. But since he stole from the Louis Vuitton store in China, that pretty much ruined everything. I mean, one of the most boneheaded moves of all time, in my opinion. But he could have played down the road if that hadn't happened. Who knows? And I think it would have been beneficial for him to stay. He would have gotten a chance eventually. I doubt he would have rode the pine forever,
No, that's true. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this is like
brilliant.
I bet there's some people out there who are thinking that this is a big, brilliant move by LaVar, because basically this is LaVar saying, not only can I do it the old-fashioned way, putting a kid through the college ranks, I can also go overseas and come back. Like, I could do this too. Like, it's just as easy. I'm sure he's kind of thinking that in his mind. But yeah, LiAngelo, he's not going to play here any much either, but at least he's getting paid for it and maybe bring some exposure to his game a little bit. And maybe he becomes like the Stefan Marbury of Lithuania. Yeah. They have just statues of LiAngelo Ball in there. That would just be a great story. I'm all on board for that. But I will say also, with LaMelo, I was watching the Complex Sports Show for some reason. Have you heard about that?
No.
It's called Out of Bounds, and here are the guest stars. It's Gilbert Arenas, and then
I have heard of this.
the ever infamous Mia Khalifa is the other co-host to it.
Yeah, I hate her.
She's awful. She doesn't know really. You could tell that she is just on there because of her past. Regardless, Gilbert Arenas said on there that he thinks that LaMelo, his potential is big time. He's already 6'5". He's a point guard.
He's 6'5"?
Shoot first. Yeah, LaMelo's 6'5".
That's news to me.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. And then he said that, and I said, well, why would I, doubt him? But even if we might have to fact check Gilbert real quick, but even if he's not 6'5", he was basically saying that he will get to 6'5", 6'6" by the time he's only 17 years old.
16
years old. How tall is he?
I'm trying to pull it up right now on my phone.
Oh, wait, there he is, 6'3". So he was saying that he could get to 6'5".
Okay.
And so if that happens, this is just he's playing mature professional basketball for, you can't get drafted, I think, till you're 18 years old. 2 years minimum. I don't hate the move. Big Baller Brand's going to give them the real paycheck. Then they're going to just, mooch off their bro Lonzo, who had a great game last night, by the way, if you watch that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was all in on that game watching. I was so happy that it went to overtime because I love watching Lonzo on the big stage. I'm on record saying that I'm not fond of Lonzo's game. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't hate his game. I don't love it. Yeah, I'm in the middle. I hope he does. I hope he does well in the NBA. I hope he succeeds. But right now I don't like where he stands. I have him as barely cracking the top 10 for this rookie class.
Okay, that's interesting. That's something that
where would you rank him?
Well, you know what? I was actually thinking. I don't know if I would say top 5. He has not been. I'd say number 1, Ben Simmons. Number 2 is probably Donovan Mitchell in Utah. Number 3, you could say Tatum, of course. I forgot about Tatum for a second. I don't know if I could find a 4th or 5th that I'd rather have over him. He's been really good. Dennis Smith maybe, but he's been hurt, and I kind of like what Lonzo's been doing more. Darren Fox hasn't done too much. Jonathan Isaac out in Orlando hasn't done much. Kuzma's been good. Kuzma has been good. I do like Kuzma. He would probably round out the top 5. But I do think Lonzo's been top 5, and he's had some really good games. He's had some bad games. That's just how it goes.
Mm-hmm. I like Laurie Markkinen too of the Bulls. He's been pretty well.
Okay, I forget. Yeah, he's been good too.
He's been pretty good. Like you said, Mitchell, Tatum, Simmons. They got. I was looking at an article that had Lonzo 7th, I believe. They had Fox ahead of him actually, which is kind of surprising because I haven't loved him, but he has had his moments where he shines, where he scores. But it depends what type of player you like. I think Lonzo can get there one day for sure, but it's been a struggle for him with the shooting. And you don't have to be a good shooter to be successful in the NBA. He could play like Rondo, get the light triple doubles from time to time.
Right.
Because he does rebound and pass really well. I wish he would go to the hoop a little more because I think he does have good handles and he's a great passer.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see him do that a little bit more.
You know what? He took a lot of threes last night if you watch the game, and they actually went in. He made probably, I'd like to say he at least made 3 threes, which is a miracle.
So 3 for what?
I'd say 3 for 8. He took a bunch. Maybe.
A bunch?
But he played, if he played like that every game, you really couldn't complain from him as a player. That's what I would say. I think that was what you'd get. If you can get that on a consistent basis, even, maybe a little less in some areas, you'd be happy with it for sure as your point guard.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like I said, his potential, he can only go up in my opinion because he's already kind of at the bottom. But I'm gonna fact check you on that, Mayor. We're saying 3 for 8.
I know
we did watch the game.
I did watch the game. I know he hit some threes. Let's see.
Let's see the Lakers, and he was 3 for 6.
Okay.
So that's actually, you thought he did worse than he did.
I knew he hit 3 threes because they went crazy when it happened, and it was during that little back and forth where Porzingis and Lonzo were trading buckets. Did you see that?
Yeah, there was some highlights.
That was a great series there. where Kristaps was playing hard because that model was. Did you hear about that? The model that was in the stands for Porzingis.
No.
So
That's great, though.
some model who's been kind of like giving him some hints that she might. You could say that. Yeah.
Okay.
She likes him. She put up that the unicorn was her favorite emoji, and then she said she tweeted out, "Who's coming to the Knicks game tonight?"
Oh.
And then quickly deleted it. No wonder that the guy went off. Had like what? 37, 15, 5 and 5 or something like that.
Yeah.
Crazy line.
37, 11, 5 blocks, solid. 5 for 8 from 3.
Okay, not too shabby.
Kristaps. Now, I got a quick question for you. Who would you rather have, Kristaps or Ben Simmons?
Ooh. In FanDuel, I mean, I wish I took Kristaps.
Last night?
Yeah, but if I had to say in general...
If you're starting a team, like right now.
That's so tough. I mean, I would be happy with both. I would probably say Porzingis just because I do like his whole game. Mm-hmm. And I think that, like... I do like Ben Simmons, but he can't really shoot that well. Porzingis, he's shooting lights out. That's what I would say.
Okay. All right, I like that. Now, also, right now, we're still early in the NBA season. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So, give me 12 players, if you can. Let's just, we'll think together because we didn't really prepare for this, but 12 players who you think will make the All-Star team from the Western Conference.
Wow, this is
Let's
tough.
start with them off the rip.
Okay,
I'll kind of keep track of 12, and you just keep going. I'll write
This is
them
off the top of my head, I would say. See, it's tough because the people who get nominated, sometimes they miss out from injury. So, like, what happens? So, what happens if they get voted? We'll deal with the logistics, but I would
12
say
All-Stars. I want your 12 All-Stars.
I would
who
say
you think, but
right.
you're 12. Okay.
I would say Steph, Harden, KD, Anthony Davis, Boogie Cousins is an easy top 5. Then I would say Aldridge. I would say probably. All right, never mind. Getting a little phone call from Reno, Nevada.
Fraudulent number. That's not the first time that's happened on this pod.
No, this is a concerning trend. But yeah, AD, Aldridge.
Yep.
If it's fan vote, it's tough. I mean, maybe. Nikola Jokic.
Jokic could definitely.
I'm a big Joker guy. I'm part of the Joker clan. Carl Anthony,
Blake
maybe.
Griffin?
I would say Jimmy Butler will get in.
You think Jimmy Butler will get in?
I think Jimmy Butler could.
What about Towns? Do we like Towns?
It's tough for me to like rip these guys off the top of my head. I would say Towns too.
Jimmy Butler, Towns. What about like the OKC crew? We're forgetting Russie.
Russ will get in no matter what.
What about Melo and PG?
No.
Oh, really? We're going to leave them off?
Maybe PG, but definitely not Melo. There's no way he gets on. Lillard could get on, but he's been snubbed before too.
He's snubbed all the time.
He's snubbed all the time.
He's going to get left out, unfortunately. How about Blake Griffin?
No, he's hurt.
DJ?
No, I don't see DJ get because he's on a bad team, so there's no guarantee.
Marcus Gasol?
Nah, he's been Dirk now. Well, maybe if he gets the fan vote. The fan vote. But it's so hard to say who the fans, they would vote for Kobe again if they could. He doesn't even play. So
all right, so right now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys. So we have 9 technically. So who do we want the last 3 to round out? We could say, let's see. We could, if Blake's hurt, and he's not in. What about DJ?
Let me look at some of
This is the Western Conference right here. We're leaving PG and Melo off. Marc Gasol, I kind of like.
See, I don't know who the votes.
What about like Draymond?
Like
you don't think Draymond or Clay?
Yeah, I'd put Draymond. I'd really hope Clay doesn't make it. He hasn't been that good. And then I would put Towns on there just because I don't see who else might be on there. He's had a good year.
So 2 more though. We would have to pick 2 more.
It's tough. This is tough. This is a
challenge.
You know what? I would say even though I'll put as like a long shot. I would say Donovan Mitchell would get in because he's been the only reason that the Utah Jazz have like won their games.
I don't think they're gonna give that to him though.
I don't think they will either.
Throw him on there,
I'll throw him on there as like my long shot pick.
Mitchell long shot. Okay.
Mitchell is my long shot. And then maybe as another long shot, Kawhi, if Kawhi can
if he can get going.
If he can get going and he can get the fan vote, that's what I would say.
Yeah, that's all right. I respect that. The Eastern Conference I think would be a little bit easier to do, in my opinion. But the Western Conference is tough, man. And with the fan voting, who knows? I could see Dirk sneaking in.
I could see Dirk in.
Some bullshit like that, even though he probably shouldn't be.
Yeah, I could see Dirk sneaking. I could see Chris Paul sneaking in, even though he's been playing well. But when you miss like 20 games or whatever, I just don't think you should get voted in. That's it. You know,
it's tough. Not everyone can make it.
Not everyone can make it. Someone's gonna get left out.
Yeah, that was a requested topic, so I'll be interested to see what does happen down the road.
Requested topic. I can only wonder who requested that one.
All right, so. let's talk a little bit briefly about the fantasy week in our league, just for a couple minutes. Mayer, this was one of the luckiest wins of all time. I'll set the stage real quick. This kid to my right was up by 1.6 thanks to Antonio Brown heroics.
Yes. I was asleep the whole game.
Yep.
For both games.
Against the Ravens, where I picked the Ravens. Yep, we'll get to that later too.
Okay.
But Mayer, first of all, he needs to get literally 24 points from AB. Right. It occurs.
And not only did he do it he did it with no touchdowns.
No touchdowns, just all yards, and we're not PPR half point.
Yeah.
So this was impressive. So Mayer takes a 1.6 point lead. And then Brendan Hull, former member of the league, potentially. He could be on the way out. We're not sure.
Okay.
Touchy subject for now after a tough loss.
We might as well have him on and address the
He is in between Kenny Stills and Chris Hogan, and he went with, you guessed it, Chris Hogan, and loses by 1.5 because Christopher did have one catch for 1 yard. He also made it interesting toward the end where he caught a pass in the end zone, only 1 foot in, though, and that was crisis averted for Team Mayer.
Wow.
That was It was unbelievable. You know what, Mayer? In the championship, I don't know if I'll be rooting for you. I don't know if I want you to join such an elite class in our football fantasy league, which is a repeat champion.
That's true. I was actually talking to Josh about this when I was texting him. No matter who wins, there's only been 3 names on the board. Me, you, and Josh.
That's true.
And I think that's a very nice little select circle we got.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. No matter how you want to look at it. However, I do have that one, I don't know, accolade.
Yes.
Repeat champ. And I definitely don't want you to get 3 next year. So if anyone gets 2, I definitely don't want them getting 3. That's my next goal.
That's fair. I don't mind being the bad guy, you know.
And Pa's going
like
for
Tony
2
Soprano.
as well.
I'm very.
Oh yeah.
I'm like Tony. I'm very,
I root
giving.
for Tony though. For those who don't watch The Sopranos.
Of course, you root for Tony. Root for Tony, but Tony. Sometimes people don't like Tony. That's just how it is.
If you haven't watched The Sopranos, you should.
You should. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Top three show all time.
One of
no
these days.
doubt about it. Top 3 show.
Absolutely. But yeah, just in general, it was a stunning turn of events. Around 6 o'clock, I saw Gurley go in for the second time. I was watching upstairs at my house, and I just turned to my brother. I said,
little depression kicked in.
Said,
it's over?
So
it pretty much was.
Not my brother. I said this to my dad. I said, I'm done.
That's great, dude. I am happy in a way, but
yeah.
It's going to be interesting. If you join the elite class, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
I feel good. I feel like I'm playing with like house money now because I really did. I was all but out. I really was. I said, I'm done. It's over. And then here we are. It's more than 48 hours later. It's 3 days later now. And it's a good feeling.
That's true.
We'll see. Hopefully I can make the pod proud. Got some tough choices I'm going to make, but
absolutely.
And
you know what? We could also have other fantasy leagues chime in about their playoffs. Maybe have some call-ins to discuss what happened real quick.
Oh, wouldn't mind, because we would like to hear about some different. We don't know what went down.
Well, for example, my girlfriend is in a fantasy football league, as is one of my good friend Ryan Rampone, his girlfriend. They started the league. Mm-hmm. Shocker, those 2 are in the playoffs right now. I don't know how they managed it. Those 2 are looking strong. They're doing a 2-week playoff. Week 14 and 15, and then 16, 17 are the playoffs. And Emma, I'm pretty sure she had a 150 piece, and they don't do any bonuses of any sort.
Wow.
And then Georgia had 102.
Okay.
And she's up by 40, and I think Emma's up by 70. So it's looking like they're going to face off, quote unquote, Georgia versus Emma. Georgia Priestley, my girlfriend, against another friend, Emma Johnson, in their respective fantasy football league, which they started this year. I'm glad we could inspire them. So, quote unquote, Georgia versus Emma again. It's going to be a good one. Might have to have them on to talk about their strategies this year.
I think if they both pull through a little face to face, I'd like to hear I can't believe it's 2 weeks in a row. It's a 2-week.
It's a 2-week
per
playoff.
matchup?
Yes. So round 1 is week
God.
14 and 15, and the championship is week 16 and 17. That's how they wanted to set it up, I guess. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I've heard of that. It's just like I'm
not a fan of that.
I've never met anyone who's actually done it, so it's interesting.
Well, we'll have to have them on the pod since they're obviously elite fantasy players. It'll be interesting to hear their takes on the season. Also, I wake up to a text this morning from Georgia. Okay. She goes, I got Rodgers on the wire.
Okay, wow. That is...
Apparently, Aaron Rodgers had been dropped in their league. And sure enough, he's back, and she got him on the roster.
Who was her QB before this?
Her QB before this was Carson Wentz. And
Wow.
before Carson Wentz, Deshaun Watson. So she's had an injury plague at the quarterback position, overcome adversity. I know she hits you up from time to time for the fantasy advice. She doesn't trust me for whatever reason She
doesn't write any text. She just sends me the picture of the lineup, and she just expects me to tell her what to do.
Let me. I can actually pull up a recent text that I saved from her. I'd have to scroll back a little bit. It was pretty funny, and my phone's kind of being slow right now. So I'll just basically summarize. It was when I want to say Alfred Morris, or no, I told her to play not Doug Martin. I said go with Carlos Hyde instead of Doug Martin, and Doug Martin scored in like the first half, and Hyde hadn't yet.
Yeah.
And I said Doug Martin ! I text her. She's upstairs doing Christmas cards with my mom, not even watching while she's on the brink of, making the playoffs. Whatever.
Right.
Regardless, I can't remember these things. I got a million things going on. Was it week 14? Was it week 13? I don't know. Regardless, it happened. I'm telling her Hyde. Okay. Martin scores. I thought I told her to play Martin. I thought her to play both because her running backs are kind of weak. I thought I told her Martin. So she goes, I didn't play Martin. And I said, what? You didn't play Doug? Why not? I told you to. She goes, no, you didn't. You're so fucking annoying. Bye. And I was like, what's wrong? It's just fantasy football. And then she didn't text me back. Like, she's actually livid over it.
That's great. She
cares. I'm proud.
She does. You should be proud. The first time she texted me, for advice, she goes, I feel bad because I root for players to to get severely injured and get carted off.
She's ruthless.
I said, I think we all do that deep down. I said, I just have never admitted it out loud before.
Yeah. She definitely has before, hoping a couple players, 2-3, might go down with like a concussion or something. I say root for the concussion, not any torn ACLs.
That's what I said.
Root for a concussion.
Root for a turf toe that they can play through the next week, but this week it hurts a lot.
Or a little rib action, apparently.
Cracked rib.
Cracked rib.
Cracked rib. Yeah. I think that's the ideal. I think that's the most morally acceptable injury that you can root for is a cracked rib.
Or maybe a couple unnecessary roughness penalties, unsportsmanlike.
Oh yeah,
root for those.
I was telling somebody that I'll remember who, but I was telling them it'd be great. This was before the game on Monday. If if he played Kenny Stills and then Kenny Stills got thrown out because he was wearing something with the jersey was not correct, and they were just like, "You get out of here!" Like that headband is is 5 inches bigger than it has to be. Something crazy like that. Get him thrown out. I'm okay with that. Like some type of technicality.
Yeah.
But if not, maybe a little poke, maybe teeth, if their teeth get messed up or something.
Yeah.
Because they can get their teeth fixed. I'd be like, okay, whatever.
That's fine. Nothing wrong with rooting for that. So
nothing.
No.
But yeah, it's been a great season. That's all I got to say about that.
It's gonna be sad when it's over.
It's gonna be sad when it's over. I told Josh. I said I'm already looking forward to the summer meetings.
I'm looking forward to the summer pods.
Yes.
Hopefully we're still going strong when we give the advice. Everyone listening will probably be in the playoffs of their given league, I'd say.
I mean, I would definitely say that was our main when we first started doing this. We said we got to do about fantasy football. So when we get to that and we're able to start from scratch like that at the beginning of the year, we got some good. We're gonna
documented.
You're welcome.
Locks. Yes.
Early welcome.
Yeah.
But real quick, don't want to take too much time, but Savage of the Week every Wednesday pod. We actually had 2 nominees this week. I couldn't pick today when I was at school. I don't know if you've definitely heard about Keaton's mom. You've heard about this whole Keaton.
Give us a little backstory though.
Okay. I'm gonna try and do my best to give us some backstory. Keaton is this little kid. He got bullied. His mom made a video of him, and he's kind of crying and telling her what happened with the bullying. And a bunch of people have come out in support of him. And now the whole thing is that his family is not as they're not the Adams. They're not like the Brady Bunch. They might be a little racist. But
is that the case?
A little, but they said it's ironic and funny. That's what they were trying to do when they made all these racist innuendos and all that. But basically, his mom set up a GoFundMe and wanted to get some money to buy him Christmas presents, I believe, and that got quickly deleted. And then the UFC guy for Bellator, the head general manager or the owner, invited him to come to see the show, take in the show. And the mom said, "I would rather you just give me the money. I just want money. So, you know, I'm not a huge fan of people profiting off like their kids like that. But she tried really hard. She almost got 60,000. She was really close. And then the second nominee, I don't know if you've seen this one either, but in California, they had this guy, two guys, like they did like a public a public forum, basically. People can come up and talk about their questions. And two guys come up, and they ended up being comedians. This one comedian, I think like the head, like the guy who thought it all out was Chad Krogler, I believe. And he went up there, and you got to watch it. But basically, he just says why he wants to party so much. And he calls himself a house party advocate. And that his like favorite memory was like doing keg stands in college. And like if they took that away, like the American culture. If you've never seen it, I will link it in the description so you can look at it. It's absolutely hilarious. I think I have to go with them because they did this in front of like actual legislative people. They
told him to get out, right?
They told the first guy to get out. And the guy right behind him comes up and goes, "What's up, council? My name is whatever." He goes, "Nothing's better than a party," like all this stuff. And everyone's laughing except all these, like hard-nosed legislative people. Yeah. So I just love the troll. I'm always up for a troll. And they did a great job with that. So Savage of the Week, the House Party Advocates, just hilarious.
Took the cake.
Hilarious.
Love that. That's honestly a highlight of my week when I watched that video because I couldn't agree more with him, honestly.
I couldn't. It was like so funnily. It's so funny, but also a little bit true. You know, some of the stuff he's saying. Like people probably do think that. Don't be a Chad. Like don't be a Brad. You always see that on Barstool and all that.
Yeah.
So it was just so well done. So well done. I will say that.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Mayor. Appreciate it. Now, let's keep going because we got, you're kind of like the hot topic today. Tell us a little bit about the Twitter spat with Carabas.
Okay.
I'll pull it up and I'll read the tweets, but you give us a little background about what happened, what sparked this whole thing.
I had a little Twitter spat with Jared Carabas. I've had a few in the past, actually. They're not spats. They're more just like a little quick back and forth where I like him, but I sometimes think he can be a little too negative. And basically the whole backstory was the Red Sox, he wanted the Red Sox to trade for Marcell Ozuna of the Miami Marlins. I don't see the point of doing that. And he ended up getting traded to the Cardinals. And I do understand where he's coming from. We do need a power bat. But basically his whole argument was that he would be the best hitter in our lineup by far. So I just tweeted him saying, and what I said was, do you really believe that he's better than any of the three outfielders? And he told me to look at his numbers and he'd be the best hitter in the lineup. And that was really it. And then I had like a bunch of like Red Sox Twitter guys attacking me in my comments or in my mentions. And I had like some guys like sending me stats I've never heard of, like about outfield stats. It's called UZR. I don't even know what that stands for still.
No, I don't either.
But he sent that to me, said, yeah, like Marcell Ozuna's UZR is better. I didn't even respond. I said, I'm not even going to bother with that. But, I just wanted to get into it with him a little bit because I thought I don't think it's worth it. I think we could go with a lot of different guys. And I am a big Jackie Bradley Jr. guy, even though he can't hit. That's how it is.
Okay.
I just like his outfield, his ability out in the field. Like when he robs home runs, I mean, look, it's just it pumps up the crowd. It gets the team pumped. And like he hits 240. Oh well, like that he wasn't the problem. He wasn't the reason why the Red Sox couldn't hit last year. I think people can at least agree at that it wasn't really Jackie. It wasn't Jackie Bradley's fault. I mean, nobody hit. Right. So I just don't.
The whole team was very poor, honestly. The whole team was not hitting very well. I think Mookie finished around 260. Definitely no higher than 270 if I had to take a guess at that.
No.
And then we had Benintendi who was around 270, 280. No one really around 300.
No.
No one.
No. So why is it his, like, I understand, taking one, like saying in general we need an upgrade. I just don't like singling out my boy Jackie Brad just because I do like.
I don't hate that. I get that. I mean, I like his defense as well. It definitely won us a couple games. I think you could make the argument it did at least. But in general, I'd rather have someone a little bit better at the plate than him, who's a little less streaky.
Fair.
So, I mean, that's just what I think. But this is the tweet. It was this guy, Bob Nightingale, said the St. Louis Cardinals have emerged as the favorites to acquire Marlins outfielder Marcell Ozuna, but no decision yet. But like you said, he is on the
He is on the Cardinals now. He's on the team now.
Carabas tweeted Dave, period.
In response to
Dombrowski.
Dave Dombrowski, the manager. Right.
And then you said, do you really think he's better than any of our 3 current guys? And he said, this is Carabas. Have you looked at his numbers from last season? He'd be the best hitter in the Red Sox lineup by a large margin. Even if he was the best hitter, is that what you want to settle for? Marcelo Ozuna?
Right. That was my whole...
That's the whole point.
That was my whole argument.
Him to be the best hitter on the Red Sox? That's a problem.
That's what I said to him. I said, I think... What I replied back to him...
You said, obviously...
No,
okay, let's see what... Wait. Who's this? Kenneth Floyd?
Yeah, I told you. I had all these guys in my...
His tag is at Matty_Moo, and he said, we've reached the stage that now there's a question if a guy who had previously won a Gold Glove and hit 37 bombs last year is an upgrade over a career 240 center fielder. And you replied, obviously it's an upgrade, but 1, you are insinuating that his Gold Glove makes him better than JBJ in the field. He's not, in parentheses. And 2, is this upgrade worth doling out players / prospects? ? I'm not sure. And this guy then is saying about Marcelo Ozuna was 5th in UZR for left fielders last year, I guess. He said
last night. Okay.
He could have been drunk. I don't know. JBJ was 7th. Okay, whatever that means. And it's an imperfect stat, apparently, but people need to stop acting like Jackie is what is this?
He's the Andretton Simmons. He's the shortstop for the Angels now.
Okay, see, I don't watch baseball like that, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I mean...
And you have it looks like you even told him, I have so many questions regarding these numbers, but I won't get into them. Just hope the Sox get someone who better fits their needs. And I think there was one more comment at the end of that. Some kid really went at your neck, but it looks like it's gone.
He did. Some kid went at my neck and said, you're such... It was something like how I'm an idiot or something like that. And I said, okay. Yeah. But I did say back to back to Jared at the end, I said, I just don't think that it's that much. If he was my best hitter, if you told me the best hitter on my team was Marcelo Ozuna, I would be upset. I would be like, what happened
I would as well.
To the team that's I don't care if he hit 37 home runs. I think what happens is Carabas likes to go at, he likes to make his own wish list, and then when they don't happen, he gets mad that they don't happen. Mm-hmm. And it's I understand that those are players that we could use, but he's just got to realize that they're obviously trying to make the team better. That's the job.
Yeah.
And so you just got to let them work.
And the Sox usually do make, I would say, on paper, the right move. It just really hasn't panned out, unfortunately.
They do make a lot of good moves, and they just don't pan out. I agree. A lot of David Price, that was a surefire thing, and then I'm better in the bullpen. Now, okay, we're not going to pay you $30 million to sit in the bullpen. Mm-hmm. But regardless, I like getting into it with these guys on Twitter.
It's fun.
I just like getting into, especially when I'm bored at work. It just gives me something to do.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll tweet at him again soon.
Oh yeah.
I absolutely will.
We'll have something to say to him in the future, probably.
Absolutely.
Now let's talk a little bit about this Friday. We got the Rough and Rowdy. We'll be watching 100% with our friends.
Yes.
Hopefully we can stream that somewhere. Have a couple cold ones. Watch Tex. Barstool intern,
yes,
and producer. Is he still intern?
I think he actually has a job now.
Does he have a job now?
Yes.
Okay, so Tex and then Hank. It's going to be interesting to see what happens between these two. For those who follow Barstool, for those who don't, 2 young guys. Right around, I'd say our age, young 20s. They're going to be fighting down in West Virginia, rough and rowdy, basically a free-for-all fist fight.
Yep.
You wear a couple gloves, some headgear, basically throw fists for 2 minutes, 3 rounds.
If you've never seen it, it's rapid-fire fights. They have one fight, and then the person gets knocked out in the first round, or even if they go the whole distance, in between, it's at most 10 minutes a fight. Mm-hmm. Usually it's 5 minutes, and then they just keep going and going and going, and they're going to do 40 fights, including Tex and Hank.
I'm very interested. I might get into this now because I didn't watch the first fight with Tex and whoever that other guy was.
Yeah, he was
psycho, tatted up, skinny dude. Couldn't have been more than 145 pounds, I'd say, but kind of crazy, and he kicked Tex's ass. So after watching highlights of Tex fight in this, I'm really loving Hank. I'm really loving him. Yeah.
Okay.
Either that or it's going to be a draw. Because watching Tex fight was a disgrace. The kid didn't know how to throw a punch. It's going to be bad. I think no matter what happens, it's going to be ugly. I don't know if this is fixed. I can't see them fixing this fight.
I don't think it is.
You don't think it is? I feel like they could have the fix in on this.
It's tough to say. I think it would be very because remember they bought this company now. So if they tried to if they do try it, they have to make it look real. Because if anyone even smells some type of fix, that whole project is dead. Like they just bought that for nothing. Yeah. But you are a Hank guy. You're saying I'm on the Tex train.
You're going with the experience?
In terms of, I'm not going with experience. I'm going with just pure like anger. I think Tex has a lot of built up anger to Hank and the PMT boys. Like, I remember like 6 months ago, I texted Jared Silverman, friend of the pod and league member. I said, Jared, they just make fun of Tex too much.
All day.
They did like this one Instagram live video where they write on Tex's face, like talking shit to him, like telling him he's an idiot, his like mother hates him, whatever. And I'm just like watching, like this isn't even funny. This is messed up.
This is some bullying.
And then this is some bullying. I'm with Keaton. I'm with Tex. And then basically what happened was Tex, they did the press conference and Tex said, they go, do you hate him? And he goes, no, not really. Like just trying to play it off. I think he's going to come out swinging. He's going to want to. He's looking for blood, especially with Rhea in the stands. She's going to be in the stands.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to have Big Cat and PFT, and like he wishes it was Big Cat too. You know he does. So I could see a little. This could be like Rocky IV, where Apollo got knocked out by Ivan Drago. Mm-hmm. Hank is going to Hank gets knocked out by Tex. Tex is basically going to call out Big Cat. It's going to be one of the high selling pay-per-views if they ended up going. If Big Cat actually agreed to fight, it would be amazing. But that's why I'm going with Tex, is because I think Tex has so much anger and he's such an angry guy that he's just gonna to fight someone he actually dislikes. It's gonna be bloody, I think.
Yeah, I can't argue with your logic behind that.
Oh yeah, and what I will say too is that when you watch that clip, remember they were wearing headgear. Remember they don't want to wear headgear.
Right, that could play a factor. I think the handsome one's reach is going to be the difference in this one. I mean, apparently his stamina is not the best. Tex has been working on the stamina because after watching that video of him literally standing in the ring for 30 seconds and being absolutely exhausted, I don't see how he can last in the ring. But if he's worked on that, maybe, Hank with the inexperience, he's a little flat-footed, comes out slow. Who knows? Maybe he wins it. It's an even line. You can bet on it.
You can.
Who
was the favorite? Wasn't it?
It's even. 115 minus 115 each.
Okay.
So that basically means you'd have to risk 115 to win 100 on both of those cats.
Interesting. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting.
I would not put my money on that.
No, that would
no locks would be my stamp of approval. Not be on that. However, I do have a few stamps of approval for the few lucky listeners tonight. I understand I let everyone down with the Patriots. I'm sorry that my reign of like 8 straight winners has come to an end. Documented, we could say, I think around 6-0.
Yeah.
With my leans.
You did get Ravens.
But if you follow, you have to follow. If you follow the leans, I mean, my leans are all correct as well. So the Patriots, I mean, I was just being kind of an asshole on the pod, talking up my team. And I tend to do that a lot. But what I don't do a lot when I used to bet was bet on the Patriots. Specifically last year when I did gamble, like more than I should have been, I never took the Patriots. And that's probably why they covered all the spreads. Whenever I take them, they would lose. I think they were 14-2 last year against the spread.
Okay.
And also, I want to go back and correct myself. A little error I made on the last pod. It was Syracuse, Minnesota. However, it was, I believe, reverse logic. Me and Pa were fired up that we had Minnesota and someone on their team had suffered some traumatic loss. So we thought we were we thought we were riding the emotion with Minnesota plus 4.5, and they ended up losing. I checked the score back in 2013. They were minus 4.5, and they ended up losing by 7, I believe.
Okay.
So that's what it was. Just wanted to correct that because that's what happened. I'm pretty sure it was like the Texas Bowl, some Texas Bowl. I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay.
But that's what happened. So for this week's locks, I was talking with you a little bit before the show started.
I will say real quick that I thought that was a great transition into the locks of the week.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Don't bet on the rough and rowdy. I mean, you can if you have a couple of bucks you want to throw around. I would take Hank for fun, but I'm not getting into that. A little too sketchy for me. Even though I like getting sketchy, not going to be getting that sketchy. So the first game, which is tomorrow, we should have this out so people can hear it, but it's going to be a doozy. Denver at Indianapolis. This is going to be interesting. It looks like from what my app is, Sports Alert app, always dependable for some lines. Denver minus 2.5 at the Colts. And over under 40.5. I would lean with this one under 40.5. I don't see this being high scoring at all. Colts defense is a little underrated. So I can see this one being very, very low scoring. And if I had to pick a team, I would say the Colts as well. However, I would not touch the spread at all. But I would put my stamp of approval on the under 40.5. Be careful where it ends. If it's under 40, it's a little tough. But, I mean, anything really under, I really like a lot. Now, in the, Sunday night game, Dallas at Oakland, I would lean Dallas -3. That's just because Oakland is such a mess right now. Like, Derek Carr's playing awful. The defense is awful. Dallas kind of clicking a little bit with the group they have. Sean Lee back. Like Skip says, Sean Lee makes all the difference. 1-5 without him. And what are they with him? I think it's something ridiculous.
I don't know if
I can't remember. It's something ridiculous, though. They win when Sean Lee plays. He's the difference maker on the defense. Most valuable player to any defense in the league, as Skippy has said. So that's why I'm leaning with the Dallas. I would lean Dallas, and also in the Monday night game, Atlanta, Tampa, looking like Falcons -6 early on the road at Tampa, over under 48. I mean, I would lean in this one, Tampa at home, getting the points. The over-under, probably lean over, but I wouldn't go near that over-under. It's kind of sketchy, but I would, if I had to touch it, lean Tampa plus the 6.
Okay.
That's what I'm liking. But the lock, again, is the Denver Colts under.
Okay. Denver Colts under. We're going to be watching out for that one.
Watch out for that one.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then in the near future, obviously, bowl season. Some sources, these are my sources, not my thoughts or opinions. Apparently, Oregon -7.5 is a stone-cold, mortal lock of all time in the bowl this Saturday. I'm not sure what it's called. Let me try and pull it up real quick. I'm pretty sure this is the, let's see. Well, they don't even have the name of this freaking bowl.
Oh, man.
But it's being played at Sam Boyd Stadium. Do we know where that is, Mayor? Can you look up that up? Sam Boyd Stadium? I'm imagining it's somewhere out on the West Coast because it's Boise State, Oregon. So that should be interesting.
So this is the Las Vegas Bowl.
Oh, the Vegas Bowl. All right. So if you're into the Vegas Bowl, sources are telling me.
I was going to say Sam Boyd is UNLV's home stadium.
Okay.
That's
then. All right. Makes sense then. University of Las Vegas, Nevada. Okay. That's what sources are saying. These are my sources, not me saying it, but I trust my sources to say the least.
Right, absolutely.
All right. So that's what I got for you. Mary, you get a message here from Reno?
I got a voicemail from Reno.
What are they saying?
I don't want to. Let's see.
Does it decode it?
I'm supposed to have
Hit
I
info.
don't. I'm supposed to have that, but it's not working for me.
Maybe
currently.
play it real soft.
So let's play it.
Just give it a play away from the microphone.
Let me give you. Let me look at it quick.
Let's see. What are they looking for exactly? This is the second time. The first time Mayor got a call while we were doing the pod, it was the police force looking for donations. Last time I checked, if you're a police officer, corrections officer, you work for like 20 years, then you get a ridiculous retirement or pension, something like that. But they have PTSD and stuff, so they get more money that they call for the police officers. Obviously, respect what the police officers and our police force do for us, but I feel like calling and asking, Jesus, they need more money?
Yeah. This is not one of those, I will say. This is definitely just a absolute it's the wrong number. But I got to play this. This is hilarious. I feel like this is all about some petition is basically what I got from it.
This is Angie with Tom Collins' office. It's 4:18 on December 13th, Wednesday. I'm just giving you the heads up that I have emailed you the petition with the exhibits for you. If you could please print the petition off, review it, sign it, and email it back to me. I've given you instructions on what to do. If you have any questions, you can give me a call. I will be in the office tomorrow at 9 o'clock. If not, and you get it signed, sent back, I'll have Tom sign it tomorrow, and we will get it filed.
I don't know what that's about.
Oh, that is definitely sketchy. Should we call back real quick and ask?
Let's not. I'd say let's not. I don't even want to know what this petition's about. Reno, Las Vegas.
Do you think it's political?
I think it's political.
You know what?
I don't want to get into the political.
I did want to get a little political for a moment, if you don't mind, Mayor. Let's see. Recently, I don't follow politics. I'll read about them briefly, if it's like trending topic. I mean, I go on Twitter for my news. Sometimes if I look in the search bar, I'll see something like, if it intrigues me a little bit, I'll say something. I was on Twitter last night and this morning, and there's like this feed. It says like, in case you missed it. Oh. You ever get those popular tweets? James Brancato, our good friend James, last night at 11:12 p.m. Eastern Time, quote, "Congrats, Doug Jones. Big win. Thank God Roy Moore did not win." Initial thoughts to this tweet. Bron, I don't think you know anything about Alabama politics. I don't think you know much about politics in general. I'm going to call Bron out. I don't think he knows much.
I think Bron texted me about this last night.
Is Bron following this?
I think Bron is following this.
I'd like to hear his thoughts.
Should we give him a call real quick?
No. I'm not calling Bron. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it from Bron.
I will say this. I think that what he, is talking about, what that's all about with the Alabama race. Everyone knows. And I will say, I don't know if, I feel like I would love to see a James versus Plattis.
Yes. That might have to be the next one of the next upcoming shows in the near future. I just want to hear Peter voice his political opinions in general. Would love to hear James. Apparently, he's into the politics. Bron.
James is a big liberal. He is.
Bronny's a lib.
He's a lib. I mean, I'm also.
I was gonna take a guess that Doug Jones was Democrat. I was going to go out on a limb and say that.
He was.
I would love to hear him and Pete go at it a little bit because I'm pretty sure. I like saving tweets, texts. I'm pretty sure you do too, Mayor. Just so people.
I share my fair share of tweets.
People hedge their bets in general in life itself. I'm pretty sure. Let me see if I could pull this up. One moment, please, while I try and obtain this tweet. Okay. Peter. This is politics related. If Trump really made wiretapping allegations on Obama with no evidence, I will regret voting for him. But Trump is no dummy, so I doubt it. The funny thing... Mayor just dropped the phone. All right, so we're talking some wiretapping about Obama. The funny thing about that is there was an article that came out, Justice Department, no evidence Obama wiretapped Trump Tower. That is ironic. That is ironic.
I just love how the tweet that he sent out. He goes, "There's no way." He goes, "There's no way that Trump would do this with no evidence." Mm-hmm. And then literally the article's title is, Justice Department says there is no evidence.
Obama wiretapped the Trump Tower.
So now Pete's on the hot seat.
That article popped up. This was back in September, but was found on the search the search tab, I believe. If you go on Twitter, get your news, search in there. So that was from September 2nd. This article dropped, and then the tweet from our good friend Petey, I'm pretty sure was from I want to say March.
I think it was March.
Yep, March 5th. March 5th, 6 months later. That could be fake news that was provided that we're referring to right now.
Of course.
But
but interesting. We'll see if Peter is a man of his word. I think that's what we're gonna find out. Yeah. I think this is just about it. We went over locks of the week. We went over pretty much everything we were going to go over, except...
you can go ahead. We want to give credit to our good friend Jared Silverman. Right. He's the one who came up with the DNA test. We talked about putting some money together.
Right.
Not sure if I personally could handle hearing Wood's true race, nationality, ethnic background, but apparently majority rules and people want to know. So thank you, Jared, for coming up with this great idea.
Yes.
We're all, as friends, going to pitch into this, couple bucks, and hopefully Wood goes through with it. No reason not to for Travis. Actually, there is reason for Travis. All to lose, nothing to win here for Wood.
Well, I think he has everything to win. This is a make or break moment for Wood.
There's a couple ways you can look at it.
Yeah.
Couple ways. He could lose everything, all the credibility, but if he's right, I mean, it's hard to dispute. Wood's an honest guy.'s a truther.
Right. There's a lot at stake if he were to agree to the test. But yeah, Jared did think of that. Thank you, Jared. We're still planning on doing that. And if anyone would like to donate to Wood's DNA test, definitely let one of us know. And we're going to see what we could do. crowdsource it, maybe get the results live on the pod. That would be.
I would love that.
That would be absolutely unbelievable.
It would be.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. Anything else you want to add here, kid?
Wow, no, we're flying by. Holy shit. This one's flying by. Next episode, we're going to record on Friday.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if he's available, AJ Marsiglia, guest. Can't wait to talk with him. We got a big episode planned. He's going to be bringing some great content. So hopefully we expand the brand a little bit. He becomes one of our second live guests, you could say, after Wood. So big shoes to fill for the big fella. For those who don't know, 6'4", 6'5", I'd say around 270, 280 in that frame. So he's got some great stuff. He was texting me on the side. Great. He's got a great lineup for us. I think it's going to be hilarious. Big Friday ahead with him. Other than that, hopefully we can build some, or I should say, see some more entertainment in the sports world. We got the Thursday night football. Saturday should be fun. We'll see if our predictions are right. But other than that,
definitely need our rough and rowdy.
The rough and rowdy. Yeah.
We're gonna watch that before, unfortunately, so we won't be able. Or we're gonna watch that after.
So we'll be able to react next week to it. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun. That is for damn sure, as I like to say. So thank you everyone for listening, and have a great night.
Shout out! It's your boy David Banner. New shot, boys. Let's go!
They looking at my jewels and they see a player icy. They kick it like they cool, but I can tell they wanna fight. I keep them girl choosing, turn them out of